Sai Sathya Palana, Sai Sathya Palana, Baba Sathya Palana, Baba Sathya Palana, Shirdi puri vasa Sai Sarvesa, Shirdi puri vasa Sai Sarvesa, He Shirdi puri vasa, He Parthi puri vasa, Sarvesa Satya Palana, He Shirdi puri vasa, He Parthi puri vasa, Sarvesa Satya Palana, Sai Sathya Palana, Akhila nivasa, Jaya Hrishikesa, Akhila nivasa, Jaya Hrishikesa, Mangala kara he pavana purusha, Mangala kara he pavana purusha, Shirdi puri vasa Sai Sarvesa, He Shirdi puri vasa, He Parthi puri vasa, Sarvesa Satya Palana, He Shirdi puri vasa, He Parthi puri vasa, Sarvesa Satya Palana, Sai Sathya Palana. Sahanavavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karvavahai, Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vishavahai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So you would have heard the bhajan, Sai Sathya Palana, Baba Sathya Palana, Shirdi puri vasa Sai Sarvesa, He Shirdi puri vasa, He Parthi puri vasa, Sarvesa Satya Palana, Akhila nivasa, Jaya Hrishikesa, Mangala karahe pavana purusha, Shirdi puri vasa Sai Sarvesa, He Shirdi puri vasa, He Parthi puri vasa, Sarvesa Satya Palana. Ever since he heard this bhajan while driving to office, Brother Ashwat singing, rendering this, there is a particular YouTube link where alternatively Ravi and Ashwat are singing. It's more than Amritam actually, with both of them rendering. And it was ringing in his ears throughout in the office, evening, everywhere. I think he mentioned about it also in some talk or some sharing. So Swami willed, and this talk is coming to you on the bhajan, on the deepest meditation of the bhajan, with references to Upanishads, from Upanishad wherever required. The literal simple translation goes like this: Glory to you, Lord Sai, the embodiment of truth. Glory to you, Lord of Shirdi and Parthi, the embodiment and protector of truth. Glory to the Supreme Lord who is omnipresent, who is the Lord of senses, Rishika Isha, and who bestows auspiciousness and grace, Mangala karehe pavana purusha. Like it used to happen during the Samarpan days, from the entire bhajan, like we learned that bhajan, Antaryami Sai. In that bhajan, the whole talk revolved around Antaryami. Or in another bhajan, it would revolve around Kaivalya. Like, so this talk, of course, it will cover all other subjects, but it is going to be centered, focused on Satya. And of course, we will see Swami as Sathya Palana. And why Swami as Sathya Palana, we will also get into it, but we shall be focused on Satya or Satyam in this satsang predominantly. Satya is the Sanskrit word for truth. The highest truth can mean God Himself, or it can mean an ethical value, virtue, being true and consistent with reality in one's thoughts, speech, and action. In yoga, Satya is listed as one of the 5 yamas which are considered to be basic for all spiritual sadhana. They are ahimsa, non-injury; Satya, truthfulness; asteya, lack of greed; brahmacharya, self-control; and aparigraha, non-grasping or accumulating things. Out of this, Swami has incorporated already Satya and Ahimsa in his virtues which he instructed: Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. First, we will see as the beginner in spiritual sadhana or midway in spiritual sadhana, before diving deep into the Satyam of Upanishads, initially we will cover understanding Satya as a virtue to be practiced. Bhagavan is our sole refuge to know the import of truth, as he is truth incarnate. He is our mentor, preceptor, and prompter in our quest for truth. Baba defines and demonstrates the power of truth. Truth is his very breath. Time and again he has declared, truth is my nature, my mission, my message. Swami says, Aham Satya Bodhaka. I am the preacher of Satya. I am Satya. My actions are Satya. My glory is Satya. During the World Conference of the Sri Satya Sai Seva Organization at Bombay in 1968, Bhagavan asserted this phenomenon, pointing out to himself or itself. This phenomenon, supra-worldly divinity in human form, will sustain truth. It will uproot untruth. That victory will make all of you exult in ecstasy. This is Sai's Sankalpa. On yet another occasion, Bhagavan confirms, affirms, adhere to truth, fulfill all the promises you make, then I will be with you. This assurance from our Lord is a time-tested verity to all those who adhere to truth, pursue the path of truth, live under the canopy of Sai's divine love and protection. Truth is the foundation of the universe. Swami said, truth and righteousness, Satya and Dharma, are the root of human existence. Descended in human form, of course, Sai from childhood till the last practiced truth, nurtured truth, and existed as Satya Purusha, Sathya Palana, to show the world how to exist as truth, how to practice truth. Swami says, truth or Satyam is love in heart, love in existence, love in speech, love in action. Sage from Ananda Kutir writes, should you ask me what is the first thing in realization, I should reply, the first, the second, and the third thing therein. Nay, not first, second, third. Everything is truthfulness. Let truth and purity light up your career, guide your conduct, and mold your character. If the mind is impure, sage continues, self-realization cannot be attained even if you meditate for 24 hours daily. Even Yudhishthira, we know in the Mahabharata, had to see the hell as he once told a lie, a modified, twisted truth in a dexterous manner. Ashwatthama hataha unjara, he told. I killed Ashwatthama, the elephant, to Dronacharya, whose son was Ashwatthama. And we know that after hearing that, Dronal gets down from the chariot, he sits, he gets into samadhi, and his arch rival from the childhood, Drishtatyumna, he comes and he slays Drona. But for telling that sentence, he had to face the hell, Yudhishthira. It goes like that. Because it was Krishna's drama, Krishna asked the Yudhishthira, for the sake of ending this war, will you take up this responsibility? Yudhishthira said, yes, Krishna, I will take up this responsibility. And he faced hell towards the end for this one untruth. When truth speaking leads another, that means even if he thinks that he is speaking the truth, but somehow he has, like Yudhishthira, he has somehow drifted away from truth, and then he is causing injury, he is causing pain to others, then it becomes a deadly sin. Peace is truth, truth is peace. Shanti is Satya, Satya is Shanti. By the practice of speaking truth, the Antakarana, we know by now what is Antakarana. Manas Buddha Chitta Ahankara is purified of its dirt. It shines like a clean mirror and reflects the divine form of the Lord with great effulgence. All is well with him whose heart is turned towards the truth. No disease, physical or mental. Mental, though, there is no chance, even the physical disease. It cannot challenge him. It cannot challenge his truthful nature. Swami Turiyananda, contemporary of Swami Vivekananda and direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, says, there should be no disagreement. We are dealing with practicing truth. There should be no disagreement between what one feels and what one says. Manasa vacha karmana. And at the same time, one should not be cruel or unkind when one adheres to truth. Make your heart and tongue one. But truthfulness and kindness, you cannot be unkind, rude to someone saying that you are speaking the truth. He says, truthfulness and kindness must go together. Say what is kind, but not what is untrue. Say what is true, but not what is unkind. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. Truth alone triumphs, not falsehood. The path by which the sages have reached perfection is the path of truth. There is no other way to freedom, no other way. He goes on even farther by saying to keep something secret is also a kind of untruth. To be absolutely frank and open in one's dealing is real truthfulness. It goes like this, that on one context, this Swami Turiyananda spoke some untruth, very harmless untruth, for which Thakur or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa scolded him like anything. That how can you, my disciple, how can you speak untruth? Practicing truthfulness has a certain power as well. Note this very carefully. As sadhakas, this is very relevant for you. Don't miss this. Swami Turiyananda is saying he would have practiced and he would have perfected, and out of his, as a source, he is pouring this secret for you sadhakas. By practicing truthfulness for 12 years, the body and mind become controlled and pure. Afterwards, one is unable to say anything which is untrue. In fact, it is said that whatever such a person says will become true. Thus, if a holy person says anything to another person, it has a certain power. Understood? He has become rendered himself pure, and he had rendered himself incapable of telling untruth. Whatever he says, whatever he does, it is all true. So that is why when we sit in front of a realized master, why we feel that aura, why we feel something unique, because the person who is existing as truth himself, practiced truth and existing as truth, and body, mind, intellect cleansed totally of all impurities. Every word emanating from him and his presence, it carries a power. That power is not a miracle. That power is not a siddhi. That power is satyam. You have to become like that. You have to exist like that. Never, never speak what is not true. Never practice adharma. Never practice what is not true. How Raja Harishchandra was tested to the core from the king. He became the one who had to work in the Shamshana Bhumi. Even there, even for some coins, he did not say. At the worst situation, he did not. Then he was blessed. In spiritual sadhana, in spiritual path, we cannot afford to keep practicing something with a hope that Swami will reward us. Then it is selfishness. Only when you go beyond this expectation that Swami will come and give his darshan and he will accept our sadhana, only when you transcend this thought for years together, Swami will actually come. Till that time, he will wait like he waited for Pundalika. Your duty is to practice truth. Your dharma is to engage in Shavana, Manana, Nididhyasana, or your dharma is to engage, immerse yourself in single pointed devotion. Result you should not expect. It will come on its own. Let it come in next birth. Now, what is there? Joyfully, blissfully, you practice. You engage yourself in sadhana and practice satyam. Let it come in next birth. If it has to come, what is there? A European devotee once said about Swami Vivekananda, his or her name, I may be wrong in pronouncing, it says Tantine. The first word I heard of him utter was the truth. And the second word he uttered was the truth. And every word I ever heard him utter afterwards was also the truth. You can say it was perhaps her faith. So she's a lady. But it was also because Swamiji was a knower of God and was established in truth. The face of such a one actually shines with that truth. He shines, the one who is soaked, immersed, and filled, enveloped with Satyam. He shines verily as that Satyam, that truth. No doubt about it. Now we come to the transcendental truth, what it is. The entire world is a projection of mind, but truth is beyond the mind. In the spiritual sense, truth is eternal. It has no beginning, anantam. Na adi, na ant. Anant. For it always is. It transcends time, space, and circumstances. And it is not modified by them. It is changeless and always remains the same for everyone, everywhere, and at all times. Four level of practice of truth. This should stay with you for your entire life. First level of practice of truth is the obvious one at a gross level of telling the truth to each other in our day-to-day affairs. The next level of truth, it goes as we proceed from the first to fourth, we will be getting subtler and subtler. First level is speaking the truth, gross level. The next level of truth is the practice of truth in our inner being, feeling, experiencing, and existing truthfully. We have still not gone to Satyam of the Taittiriya Upanishad. That comes at the fourth. Being truthful inwardly. First is speaking outward. You can pretend to be speaking Satyam throughout your life in white and white in Satya Sai organization. Sai Ram, sir. Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. But you can still be untrue inward. The second is experiencing the truth in your inner being. Our sage from Ananda Koter says, scrutinize always your inner motive. Normally, most of us have two reasons for doing something. One, a reason that sounds good to ourselves and others. And second, the real reason. We have to scrutinize carefully our inner motives. Recognize what our real motives are and never claim to be doing anything for other than our real motivation. Here comes the Kathopanishad Shreyas and Prayas. Prayas is the first motive. What is pleasurable, what is good appears to be good for us and for others. Shreyas, what is really good. Not what that appears to be good, not that which is very pleasant, but what is really good. Shreyascha Prayascha. Kathopanishad. How many Upanishads taught in 14 years? How many Shankara's treatises? How many Vidyaranya's treatises? Sadhakas. But there is a third level of truth that most of us almost find impossible to practice. And that truth is at the level of yoga. The scriptures can declare that thou art Tattvam Asim. We can affirm Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. We can believe with our intellect that all this is Brahman. But to come to grip with the truth of this, it is something altogether different. It requires tremendous strength, tremendous clarity of intellect, tremendous devotion to the truth, tremendous willpower, and above all, the character built by the practice of truth with others and within ourselves. Here, Mananam and Nididhyasanam come together. Getting convinced, Aham Brahmasmi, and living up to that conviction in Nididhyasanam. Aham Brahmasmi. truly within ourselves. It is the final practice of the truth that will convert us to the divine. It is an absolute practice, and it is not a practice that we can do in the ordinary way. It is a practice, no matter how we describe it, of total letting go, total renunciation, total surrender, Atma Nivedanam. And it is affirming that the ultimate truth is that which we can never grasp in any way with the mind. That truth, we exist as the truth where our mind halts, where our intellect halts. Body to hai. Okay. They also declare that this is unknowable and unthinkable. So, to practice that real truth, we have to exchange that what we think we are the truth, that is unknowable by the mind. Till the time we think that perhaps this spark of experience, this spark seconds of existence, perhaps is that state of realization. It is not state of realization. Because what is thinking? Your mind is thinking, your intellect is thinking. It is the state of realization. The fourth truth, existing as verily the truth. Third was getting convinced Aham Brahmasmi and practicing Nididhyasana on Aham Brahmasmi. Nididhyasana on nothing else, but only on Brahman. And that I am. The fourth is existing as that state, that truth, Satyam. Here comes the Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Existence, true, Sat of the Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, Sat of the Satchit Ananda. This is that existence which is Kenopanishad, which cannot be thought, which cannot be spoken about. Then how he has been speaking about that for 14 years? It is Swami's grace. Because he said, I need you in the mission. He said, you have to work in my mission. He gives expression to what is the pure existence as source within. Otherwise, brothers, sisters, children, not a single expression, not a single word will emerge out of this BMI, signed, sealed, delivered. Absolutely not possible to speak anything with this BMI of that truth. And he has been speaking about that truth from the purpose of human birth to this session, to this session till his death. One truth, Ekam Sat. How that consistency is, how that truth is emerging. His grace, Swami's grace. He gave a word, Satya, I need you in the mission. So he has to give expressions. It is his duty. Otherwise, after 2011, January, February, absolute silence, no word would have. How many Upanishads have emerged? Chitradeepa, Yoga Vashishta, Viveka Chudamani, Avadhuta Gita, Ribhu Gita. Impossible without Swamis. Impossible. Because it is that which cannot be known, which cannot be thought, which cannot be spoken. Satya is a central theme in the Vedas. It is equated with and considered necessary to the concept of, in the Sanskrit, it is rhythm. Sanskrit, not English rhythm. It is RTA in English. Rhythm, ta, bindi, rhythm. That which is properly joined, order, rule, nature, balance, harmony. Rhythm results from Satya in the Vedas as it regulates and enables the operation of the universe and everything within it. Satya or truth is considered essential, and without it, the universe and reality falls apart. Cannot. A verse from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, as a spider moves, this may be difficult, pay attention. As a spider moves along the thread it produces, and as from a fire tiny sparks fly. So, what the thread is not different from the spider, it has only produced that thread. Atmabodha, we have learnt this. And the tiny sparks of fire is not different from the main fire. As from a fire, tiny sparks of fire spread in all directions, so from this self emanate all organs, all worlds, all gods, and all beings. We will explain this, and towards the end of this verse, it speaks about the Satyam. As in the world, a spider, which is well known to be one entity, moves along the thread which is not different from itself. And there is no other auxiliary to its movement but itself. And as from one homogeneous fire, tiny sparks, little specks of fire, fly in different ways or in numbers. As these two illustrations show activity even in the absence of any difference regarding auxiliaries. As also natural unity before the activity starts. Just so, from this self, from the real nature of the individual self, emanate all organs such as that of speech, all worlds such as earth, which are the results of one's past actions, all gods such as fire, who preside over the organs and the worlds, and of all living beings from Hiranyagarbha down to the clump of grass. All these souls, if we read like this, then the meaning will be souls with particular characteristics manifested owing to the connection with the limited agents. It is not the soul, it is a self from which this moving and unmoving world continuously proceeds like the spark of fire, in which it is merged like the bubble of water, and with which it remains filled during existence. Brothers and sisters, if Swami wills, only and only if Swami wills, before he dies, before this body leaves, he must give the entire Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, very large text, one of the biggest texts. He should give to the world of known and unknown, if Swami wills. His will means nothing, zero. Swami has to will. If Swami wills, it will happen. Having understood that about the self, now we are coming to the truth. You have grasped it, otherwise listen again. relate how from Brahman, the entire creation, the macrocosm body, mind, intellect, the microcosm body, mind, intellect, our walk, our speech, our senses, our organs, this creation, everything. The spark of fire cannot come emerge if without the fire being there. The spider cannot move along the thread unless the thread has emanated from within the spider. Similarly, entire thing, whatever we can imagine of, they are non-existent, they have no relevance, but they have only one identity. They are all that verily that self. Without the devoid of self, Brahman, if you go to the Shunyavada of the Buddhists, there can be no creation emanating, emerging from Shunyam. Nothing can emanate from nothinglessness. Anything can emanate only from that something, supreme something, which is everything. Towards the last line, this verse says, this expression your master has used many times. Now it comes from the Shrutis. And interestingly, without reading this verse, he has been using this many times. Few sadhakas will know. This is the last line of this verse. Tasyopanishat satyasya satyam iti prana vai satyam tesha mesha satyam. Satyasya satyam. How many times he has used? Few sadhakas will know. The secret name Upanishad, Tasyopanishad, the secret name Upanishad of this self or Brahman, etc. Upanishad means that which brings one nearer. Nearer to what? Nearer to Brahman. That is a word denoting it. The truth of truth, Satyasya Satyam. Since this secret name always has a transcendental impact, it is difficult to understand with mind. Therefore, the Shruti gives its meaning. The vital force is truth, and it is the truth of that. Prana vai satyam tesha mesha satyam. At the highest level, the seed consciousness, Sat, is the root of everything else. Once you listen again, you will understand how we have moved, glided from speaking the truth, what an ordinary a person who is a beginner in the spiritual sadhana will speak about Satyam. From where to where effortlessly we have glided and moved and reached the ultimate Satyam. A session to behold for a long time. At the highest level, the seed consciousness Sat is the root of everything else. That is the highest reality. There is a Vyavaharika Satyam in the worldly at the worldly level. This is Paramarthika Satyam. Here mind turns back along with speech. To the wise man, neither heaven nor hell nor earth exists. He knows that there is but one truth, and that is here and now. He sees the glory of his supreme self and nothing else. And that supreme self which he sees and that supreme self he exists is what? Sat, pure existence, Sat Satyam. Mundaka Upanishad states, Satyamevam jayate na anrutam. This slogan in of India, Satyameva Jayate, has been taken from this Mundaka Upanishad verse. Truth alone triumphs, not falsehood. Satya also can refer to a virtue in Hinduism, referring to the quality of being truthful in one's thought. Okay, this is at the worldly level. Now come to Sai Sathya Palana. Now let us enjoy having dived very deep and understood the four levels of truth. What are the four levels? One is speaking the truth. One is be practicing the truth inwardly, not only speaking outwardly. Third is having the conviction that I am that self, I am that Brahman, I am that Satyam, and then engaging in relentless sadhana towards discovering the truth that I am that Satyam, I am that truth, self Brahman. Third, fourth is ending up discovering your true identity, where what all speakers in Satya Sai organization hold the mic and speak from here, that we should identify, we should the innate nature, true nature of our, without knowing what that means. Not meant to criticize, not even referring to any known people, unknown, and not even Saya in many spiritual organizations. Nobody hearing should think that I am pointing out it, not at all. So, the fourth is Paramarthika Satyam, existing as self, existing as Satyam, consciousness. Now, let us come to see Swami as Satya Palana. Few of you, one or two of you, would remember what he spoke from the Grand Hotel Sharjah on the two birds, Guru and Shishya. The Guru bird flies and beckons the Shishya bird to fly along with that. And when the Guru bird realizes that it can effortlessly fly even beyond the sky, even beyond. When it realizes that the Shishya bird is tired now, it is not able to fly as vigorously. That means in the spiritual sadhana, not able to practice or not able to, for a moment, it has become a little weak, tired, not able to reach up to the Guru's challenge. Then the Guru bird comes down and it rests in a tree along with the disciple bird, allows space, allows a little space, allows a little rest, relaxation for the child bird or the Shishya bird. Shishya is child only, always, Saumya. So, and then it takes off. Now, enough, now come fly. You have to reach that ultimate fourth truth. Like that, why he referred that childhood? Now, if at all some of you have felt that Guruji has gone beyond fourth truth, Satyam and Satyasya Satyam, and then Brihadaranyaka Upanishad spider, and then the spark of fire, how loftiest the level he has reached, and they feel, some of you feel a little weak, that how, when will we grasp all these things? Now we are coming down and sitting on the branch. and enjoying Sai as Sathya Palana. These are all not written in the notes. How it emerges, Sai. He takes no credit for the 14 years of sessions he has given. No doubt Swami took him there to that level, but post that, whatever is emanating, that is Swami's grace. Zero credit. Zero means zero. Satya Palana. Enjoy. Now we are on the branch, the Guru and the Shishya birth. I have come with this human physical apparel for upholding the truth. I am the truth of the truth in all truths. This form bears the name Truth Satya, Swami's name, Satya. The vitality within this form is truth. That is the power which overpowers all powers. Why has the truth come down on earth in this form? To place man on the road to truth, to plant in their hearts the yearning for truth, to help them reach the goal of truth through instruction and illumination. Sanatana Sarthi, November 1970. In a Bhajan, Samarpan Bhajan, which he taught you, composed by his Gurudev Nagaraj ji, a line is सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम के पालन करने आए बाबा बार बार तुम जग में आए सत्य स्वरूपा देयर आल्सो सत्य इज कमिंग तुम राम बने तुम कृष्ण बने तुम शंकर बनकर आए सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम के पालन करने आए बाबा Gurudev would have written innocently, or he would have dived deep also. We don't know. But while writing on that bhajan, this palan karne, he wrote and he also spoke before teaching this Samarpan bhajan, those glorious days. He said, why Swami has to come down, take this form, and Sakshat Parabrahma Parameshwar, why he has to come to the level of practicing the truth. What is the necessity for Parabrahman? पालन करने वही पालन क्यों किए वो सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम के क्या जरूरत था साक्षात नारायण साक्षात शिव साक्षात परमेश्वर अवतरित हुए प्रशांति निलयम में और शुरू से आखिर तक उन्होंने पालन किया सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम अहिंसा क्यों क्या जरूरत ताकि हम लोग भक्तगण जो है उनको एक अवार्ड दें सर्टिफिकेट दें कि वी हियर बाई अप्रिशिएट एंड कंफर्म दैट यू भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा हैज adhered to the truth why because already the Kali had reached its worst, not if not worst, a very bad level when he descended on earth. He emerged from, he willed and emerged from the womb of Ishwaramba. Kali had reached its worst level. Earlier, The rishis of the yore, they had to just utter a word, Satyasya Satyam, and the disciple would follow it to the T, to the lastest level, minutest, subtlest level. They will practice it. Taught to you in the which session? Sadhana Chatushtaya, the earlier Sadhana Chatushtaya session from the Alya Center, he taught the Vairagya, which Venkateshanandaji wrote about. Listening to Swami Shivananda's words, Viveka Vairagya Shat Sampat Vairagya, he will say, when our Gurudev used to teach something and he used to instruct something, we used to feel like even taking off our kaupyana and then hiding in a cave and meditating on our master's word till the time we have implemented and we are existing as that instruction, that vairagya. Of course, even in the Kali Yuga, to this, the select few disciples, celibates who existed along with their guru in the Gurukula ashrama, they could achieve that level. But normal jivas, if Swami had just instructed Satyam, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, that 1 hour would have been wonderful. Hearing to Swami. Come to Ganesh, South Indian canteen to taste that yummy upma and that filter coffee. Swami's teachings are gone. So it was not enough for this avatar just to teach the truth, just to instruct the truth. Because the disciples are not living with him permanently like a Gurukula. They are going out and the samsara is waiting to swallow them suited and booted like the shark. So he had to demonstrate. He had to, my life is my message. He had to practice Satya Dharma Shanti Prema. He had to live as Satya Dharma Shanti Prema Himsa to for the devotees to get motivated to the core and to strive to practice Satya Dharma Shanti Prema Himsa. There also, surely he had not referred to the Samarpan book on this bhajan while noting this point, but surely either he would have written in the translation, go back and see, or he would have definitely spoken, if at all any of you remember, हमारे प्रभु, हमारे साईं, हमारे स्वामी को अपने भक्त गण से सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम अहिंसा को पालन करवाना था. वो पालन किए और हमको सिखाए कि पालन कैसे करना है. पालन करवाने के लिए पालन किए. My life is my message. Ultimately, to culminate is your life is my message. Bhakta's life is Swami's message. Sathya Palana. He never spoke a single word which was not true. He said university would come in that God-forsaken village. Puttaparthi, full of ants and snakes. It was impossible for the devotees who were staying together with Swami even to believe that in that God-forsaken village, yeah, university, because a university, there are a lot of rules, lot of policies for the location, the infrastructure, and so many things for a university to come up at a particular place, Puttaparthi conformed to none of those requirements, none of those infrastructure. But he spoke the truth that university will come. The university came. Brother Sundar says in one of his talking about self-confidence, how Swami practiced self-confidence. He says that even while from the government side, University Grant Commission side, even when all the scholars came for a meeting to Puttaparthi to discuss about the possibility of a university coming up there, the devotees, the few handful of devotees with Swami had no hope. He was thinking, why Swami is doing like this? Because when we love someone, we can never imagine of that person whom he loved being disrespected, or his word coming untrue, or him being put down, or her being put down. So that is the feeling of the bhaktas towards Swami, why he is taking up this task. University cannot come in Puttaparthi. That is the self-confidence, and that self-confidence root cause, from where that self-confidence comes. Satyasya Satyam. It's truth. Satyam. 1990, 21st or 22nd November, he announces next 22nd November, Satya Sai Super Speciality Hospital will get inaugurated. He has gone in June 1991. There was a heavy rain. Just the initial iron beams had come up, and all sands fillings had got washed away by rain. It was just those iron beams were standing there. June, November. You know how much time it takes to come up with that monument, that palace like super specialty hospital, the temple like super specialty hospital. Not a joke. He has spoken the truth in 1990, 22nd November, that next year it will come. Operation will be performed on 22nd or 22nd, I think, 1991. If it is something else, he is going to quote Safaya, Professor Safaya, who was the medical superintendent of All India Medical Institute of AIMS, Delhi, whom he had approached, whom he had begged when he got no seat in any government hospital for the operation of his grandmother. He had gone to A.N. Safaya with folded hands, referred by Nimikavar, Balvika's president. He was gracefully granted a seat in the medical hospital where she breathed her last, grandmother. So he's going to quote A.N. Safaya. He is going to quote the chief of Larsen and Toubro, who were the engineers for the construction. But that is all a second, third party reference. He has gone, he has seen with his own eyes in June 1991. Impossible. What did they say? Ramakrishna, the head of Larsen and Toubro, was asked a few months before November 1991, will you be able to finish the construction of the hospital by November? His reply was an insight to the immense faith everyone working on the project had in Swami. We do become anxious when our work is hampered by rain or by delay in supply of building material. But when Swami comes to the site and talks to us with a smile, in a reassuring manner, because he is Satyam, he is Satya, all our fears are laid to rest and we get a belief that we can do it. Still on 18th November, this has also been recounted by one major who was a very senior devotee in Delhi. For a long time, he used to manage the all the VIPs in the Purnachandra Hall for all Swami's programs. Major, forgetting his name. His son also studied in the university. Anyways, uh, so he has also recounted this. He was also there on the 18th November. A day before the operating theatres were supposed to be cleaned, fumigated, and sealed, it looked as if the whole project would be a non starter. The monitors were not installed in the operation theatres and the ICU. There was some problem with the oxygen and the medical gas supply, and even the UPS was getting interrupted regularly. Even to this day, Dr. A.N. Safaya, the director of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, then director, he's no more now, vividly recounts those days that tried and tested his competence, resolve, and faith. But on 22nd November 1991, the then Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao Garu comes and inaugurates, Swami, this is hardly a hospital, this is a temple. And at 9 a.m., as his word Satyam, uttered 1 year before, the first lady was operated bypass surgery, who had hardly any saving for her daily livelihood. If she does not earn for that day, the stove, the kitchen stove will not burn at the night for the night dinner. She got the bypass surgery done. Satyam. To be born as a human being in the context of Satya and also Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa, born as a human being, how we have to conduct ourselves, our master, our guru, our God, our Lord of Lords, he existed in front of us. From the Manasa Bajare Guru Charanam, the declared avatar day, until the last, when he when he prostrated, knowing fully well that he is not going to return, the last darshan photo we all remember. Till that day, he practiced and he showed us as Sai devotees, if at all we have to repay anything back to our God, how we have to practice, how we have to exist in our life, practicing Satyam. And starting from the first truth, first level of Satyam to reach to the fourth level of Satyam and to stay there, exist there as Satyam, pure consciousness. Nothing else, nothing in no other way we can repay our debt to our Lord. My brothers and sisters, note this down. Not through only, not to condemn the regular activities, not through regular bhajans, not through workshops, not through all the sadhana camps, not through all the seva. They are all important in the Satya Sai organization. But he practiced to show us, to demonstrate to us how we have to practice ourselves. If we do not practice sincerely what our master practiced, we have recounted 2-3 instances to confirm how he spoke the truth, and the truth became actual truth in real sense. If we do not exist at that level of truth to proceed towards the fourth and the ultimate and transcendental truth, we are failing as Sai devotees to repay our debt, run to our God, who had to descend with a human form, body, and to go through all the five stages from the birth till death, existence, growth, disease, decay, death. Parabrahma Parameshwar, when his body was laid to rest on the 24th, after the 24th of April 2001, when that body of our master was brought and kept at the main Sai Kulwant Hall, it would not be even 20 kgs. It had shrunk to that level. Why he had to undergo all these things? For us to practice. And if we parrot life, if we keep on speaking certain good things and keep on singing good bhajans, keep on teaching, keep on practicing as pretending as Sai devotees, is not saying that we are, if at all, we are pretending to be Sai devotees, but not as second truth, not speak the truth, but in the inner being, core inner being, Shivanandaji Maharaj's words, you have to exist. You have to value inner core to be truth. We are not reciprocating to the hardship that incarnation had to take up being born physically. Sarvesha. Sathya Palana, Sarvesha. Sarva means everything, and Sarveshwar means Lord to everything. Shiva is called Sarveshwara. He is Jagat Pita, father to the entire universe. Now, we are speaking about Shiva in the context of Shiva in form, not the Shivarahasya Shiva. Sarvesha refers to the Lord of all and is used to describe Shiva. According to the Shiva Purana, in that the seven sages said to Himachala, O Lord of the mountains, may our words, the cause of everything auspicious, be heard. Give Parvati to Shiva. Become the father-in-law of the world destroyer. For the destruction of Taraka, formerly Brahma requested Shiva, who is the Lord of all Sarvesha, all, Lord of all, that means Sarvesha, and who does not beg of anyone to strive for this alliance with Parvati. Shiva is the Jagat Karana, the creator of the universe, and Shiva is the Jagadaika Poshana, meaning he is the provider for all. He nurtures all beings. Akhila nivasa. Akhila everything. Akhila nivasa, the one Lord who is the indweller in everything. Akhila nivasa and Sarvesha, both expressions convey the same inner sense. God pervades everywhere. He is equally and fully contained in all things. The world is a play of God. The warp and the woof, Atma Bodha, is blended with the world. Just as there is no difference between gold and its ornaments, so also there is no difference between God and the universe. Everything is God. There is nothing but God. Akhila Nivasa. Rishikesha, Rishika Isha. This he has explained in one of the Samarpan bhajans where Rishikesha word came. He doesn't remember that bhajan. A name for Krishna, Rishikesha means Kesha, we will imagine Krishna's hair, but here it is Rishika Isha. That means one who turns the senses of his devotees towards himself and those of the non-devotees away from himself. Rishikesha means Lord of Senses. It's a significant title for Lord Vishnu in the Vaishnavism and various spiritual texts. It highlights his mastery over the senses and the mind, portraying him as a protector and benevolent deity. Rishikesha is also associated with Krishna, emphasizing his role as a charioteer and a spiritual guide. The term encompasses aspects of divine realization, control over sensory perception, and attributes of protection, making it a central concept in understanding Vishnu's multifaceted nature in spiritual narratives. Mangalakara, auspicious, pertaining to the highly beneficial nature of the holy name. Pavana, sacred, also means one who protects or provides refuge. If one meditates deeply on the key expressions, Sathya Palana, Sarvesa, Akhila nivasa, pavana purusha, then we are reaching towards the end of the satsang. A satsang which should be very close to your heart in the practical sense and also in the loftier spiritual sense, your goal. How these expressions get synchronized in the depth of meditation. When Sai descends as avatar and in human form, he beckons all of us to exist as him, not just under him, not just seeing Sai as someone who is divine and seeing ourselves to be so small, as sinners who can never get nearer to him. He is calling us and he is telling us, I am Sathya Palana, I am Sarvesa, I am Pavana Purusha, but hey Saumya, my child or my children, my bhaktas, why I have descended and have walked amongst you, drawing you near me, granting you darshan, sparshan and sambhashan, because when I whisper, I and you are one, when I say, Swami says in that soft Ardhanarishwara, male, female, combined, beautiful tone, Divyatma Swarupalaras. Like that, Swami says. Okay. When he says, then Swami perhaps tells us, I want all of you to exist as me. All of you to realize the same Satyam within you and exist verily as Atman, which is Satyam, which pervades the entire creation. Sarvesha, Akhila nivasa, and as pure sacred pavana, bestowing Mangala, auspiciousness to all who approach me. At the highest level, it is that Brahman, that Satyam, that Purusha, which is Sarvesha, Akhila nivasa, which is nothing but the one who, the very essence of Satyam is, it does not bestow auspiciousness. It does not bestow grace at the highest level. At the highest level, Purusha or Brahman or Sat or Satyam, that itself is Mangala, that itself is Pavana. At least imagine reaching to the fourth level of truth, transcendental existence as Sat, pure existence. This bhajan merges in that existence. All the entire satsang discourse merges in its existence. Mangala kara pavana purusha Sarvesa Akhila nivasa Sathya Palana Shirdi puri vasa puri vasa Sarvesha, all much in that Satyam. Sat. The creation merges in that Sat. The microcosm and the macrocosm merges in that pure existence. The mind and the speech and the senses merge in that Satyam. That is the existence given to you in the recent particle. Everything merges in that. It is not necessary that since because creation, their mind will come into play. Note this very carefully. Those who are in the advanced stage of sadhana, please carefully note this. Since creation is very huge, when you come to experience that act, if at all you experience that for few seconds, that pure existence, the essence of the partipur, the culmination of the partipur, even the imagination or the visualization that you as self has expanded beyond the sky for the creation to come and merge you, even that visualization must go. Because somehow, somewhere the time, space, and the enormous concept has come, mind has come to play. Anor aniyan mahato mahiyan. It is not a necessary, it is neither necessary to be vast, expansive, nor necessary to be smaller than an atom. All that is that at that subtlest, not largest, not smallest, but at that subtlest. Where what is that subtlest state where avidya has gone? That is the recent answer given to the question. Where avidya, the subtlest ego has gone, that is your subtler than the subtlest existence, pure existence, satyam. That subtlest existence can neither be imagined as large, nor can be imagined as small, nor can be imagined as anything. But in that subtlest existence, the creation has merged. The creation upon merging has no size. The vastness of the universe, the vastness of the space, the relevance of all the vastness of the expansiveness is gone. Once the creation is merged within, this is a very subtle aspect which the sadhakas have to experience. They cannot afford to miss this in their contemplation. No texts or no commentaries would give this aspect to you. Perhaps maybe Shivanandaji Maharaj or Ramana might have given, not read till now. When the expression is not there, when it is beyond expression, The relevance of creation being smaller or larger, not there. The relevance of your existence being expansive or anor, smaller than the atom. It is both these anor, aniyan, mahato, mahaniyan. It is in with reference to the subtlety, not with reference to the size, expansiveness, or smallness. Subtler than the subtlest. When the onion leaves are peeled off, inside what is there? Nothing, which is everything. Na bhuto, na bhavishyati. Such revelation you will never get anywhere. Make use of the opportunity. Why this is how this is getting revealed to you? Because of Swami's grace, absolutely. This is not noted down in the iPad. Or most of the things today have not been recorded, not been noted. They are just flowing because of his grace, that he has willed that these things should reach you, this revelation should reach you. It has reached, but how you make of use of it, it is up to your viveka vairagya shat sampat mumukshatva, your fire. Interestingly, while he went through the noted points yesterday night, he thought the culmination should be more stronger, and the culmination, the climax of the session should be more subtler, more stronger. It should leave with a more subtler, strongest message for the sadhakas. But he said, it's okay now. From this itself, if they are able to take it, is more than enough. And see how the climax has come. It is all. Not a stone, not a grass moves from here to there. Your master cannot utter a word if Swami's grace is not there. And what all Swami has brought in now toward the climax of this session, of what a bhajan, a simple bhajan, not a simple bhajan, a bhajan which can be rendered by an expert singer in a very nice way. What all Swami has given to us today. Don't say now that, Swami, why I am not able to get sincere, get more serious in my spiritual sadhana. Besides giving you the intellect, he is showering on you all this priceless, timeless essence pours through this instrument. He's giving you, equipping you with everything. 400 plus videos and talks are sitting in the YT, YouTube. How many themes are sitting in the blog? He has given you everything through the instrument Satya. His grace is in abundance. You have to have the capacity, and the Shraddha to gather His grace and to evolve in sadhana. The same purusha descends from time to time as Shirdi Puri Vasa, as Parthi Puri Vasa. And after addressing the Supreme God as Shirdi Puri Vasa, Parthi Puri Vasa, the song beautifully describes that Shirdi Puri Vasa and Parthi Puri Vasa and says, don't get carried with the form of Shirdi Baba and Parthi Baba. Know and be aware that Hey Shirdi Puri Vasa, Hey Parthi Puri Vasa. Don't get carried away with that Shirdi form and Parthi form. Know that God to be Sarvesa Sathya Palana Sai Sathya Palana. Prostration to the composer of the bhajan, one from whom these expressions emanated, and prostrations to Swami, without whose grace this satsang could not have happened today. And so many things could not have flowed extempore without a thought from the source today. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय. Bliss, bliss. जय साई राम.